Hey guys, Caleb's Cards here. I'm at you with another TTM autograph binder collection showcase. This segment is going to be for women of World War II. I alluded that we would go ahead and do this, and I'm a little late in getting to it, but figured it was time. I have some time on my hands, a little short vacation from work, so what better time to do this? So this is not a very large section, but still a pretty cool one. I don't have very many. I would like to add more. Maybe probably would have to get through purchases. Unfortunately, many have passed away that I could write to at the time, or I did write to them and I just never got back. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. And then I did print an 8x10 size photo with the "We Can Do It," very famous World War II propaganda poster. So this first one here, it's going to be Miss Marion Stegman Hodgson. She was a WASP pilot, which a WASP, if you're not familiar with, stood for Women's Air Service Patrol. They would fly planes, usually not be in combat missions, but some were shot down. But primarily they would do like test airplanes. They'd be one of the first ones to test them. They would supply runs, transports sometimes, all kinds of stuff. But very, very instrumental still in the war and important. Each role was important. Then we got Miss Nadine Nagel, or Nadine Campbell Nagel. She was also a WASP pilot. Got Anna Monkiewicz, who was also a WASP pilot. Ruth Sorensen, who was employed at the Glenn L. Martin Company, which I believe was like an assembly line for airplanes. So she'd be putting together airplanes and stuff for the war effort, and maybe some other equipment. We got Ida Young, who helped build the Rosie the Riveter, which is a famous airplane that was built by multiple, like, it was kind of like a project to, I think, raise money and awareness, things like that, I believe is what it was. But I have several ladies that help with that. Betty Reed Soskin, who was a witness to the Port Chicago disaster and is also the oldest National Park Ranger. And I believe the Port Chicago disaster was actually when some Japanese submarine actually got into San Francisco Bay there and was attacking some businesses and stuff along the shore. I believe that's what that was, but I don't have my Star Tiger account, so I can't be 100% sure on that. But she was the oldest National Park Ranger at the time. This is Miss Hope Kirkendale, or Hope Rogers. She was a nurse at the Battle of the Bulge. First lieutenant. And she was an operating room nurse, so she saw some stuff in the European theater. Then we got Miss Eleanor Otto, who worked on Rosie the Riveter. We have Miss Imogen Davison Glover, who's also worked on the Rosie the Riveter, but is also an Oklahoma Dust Bowl survivor. Dust Bowl was during the Great Depression. A lot of people died. It was so dry, and they were in a drought, and just all this wind, and a lot of stuff happened then. Not only you had to deal with the Great Depression, but you had to deal with that. So couldn't imagine. This is, I believe, yeah, that's Irene Ellswick. She also worked on Rosie the Riveter. This is Suzanne Hubbard Rudd. She was a WAAC, which stands for Women's Army Auxiliary Corps. It would later be changed to just WAC, which would be just Women's Army Corps. After, or in like 1943 or something like that is what it was changed to. There's a little magnet she sent. She turned 100 years old. So that was pretty cool. This is a Hewitt Graphs custom photo signed by Mary Cohen, who is a WASP pilot. This one here is Patricia or Pat Young. This one I did not send to TTM. This was actually given to me by my friend. He met her in person and would see her a lot, so he got her to sign some stuff for me. And interesting enough, her name is actually the same as my grandma on my mom's side. Her name was also Pat or Patricia Young, and my grandpa called her Tish Ann. So I thought that was kind of cool. That I even showed my grandma this. I was like, "Grandma, you were a wasp pilot?" And she just laughed. But no, that's not her. But kind of cool. Then we later sent to Hope Rogers again, I think, later on, and she did sign this 4x6 photo, and then included a nice index card with some of stuff she was in and stuff she did, kind of her achievements there. This came from Michael Rhodes, or Autographs for a Cure. I sent some gifts during Christmas time, I think. Bernice Haydu, and she was a WASP pilot I was unable to get. I believe she had passed away, or she might still be living, but I don't think she signs. Maybe she just wasn't signed at the time, is what it was. And I tried sending to her a couple times, didn't hear back. Got a really lovely letter from Miss Mary Cohen. This is from Miss Eleanor Otto, a nice letter. And this one is also from Hope Rogers or Hope Kirkendall. Pretty cool letter from her. And finally, the most recent one we've had, which is Miss Pearl Neal Robbins, who is also 100 years old. She was a member of the WWII, which, if you're not familiar with that one also, WWII stands for Woman Accepted for Volunteer Emergency Service, and she communicated with carrier pigeons. So, I thought that was a cool one. And she wrote back a really nice letter as well. So, that's it for this segment. Next up is a really long one. I don't know if we'll be able to do in one part. Might have to do two. This is Pearl Harbor. We have a lot of guys from that one. A lot of people. So that should be a pretty interesting one to go over. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed this segment. Talk to you later. Bye.